Hey guys, it's your average middle-aged American back again with another reaction video. This one is on Spain, and it's what's new in Spain in 2025. This is from Spain Revealed. Great channel. If you haven't checked them out, go check them out. There'll be a link in the description. The gentleman specializes in helping people relocate to Spain. He knows quite a bit about Spain. I believe he's from New Zealand. And he married a Spaniard, and it's been there for like, I don't know, 8 or 10 years. And he gives you kind of the ins and outs of Spain. So my quest to learn as much as I can about Spain and Europe, I am checking this video out with you. I have not seen it. We can watch it together. We can learn together. You can teach me, as I am just an average middle-aged American trying to learn about the world. I'm in kind of a funky mood. Didn't sleep well last night. It's a long story. You don't care. But I am caffeinated. So we'll see how it goes. I just want to take a minute to thank all of you guys. I appreciate you. Subscriber count's over 1,200. Trying to hit 2,000 before our 1-year anniversary. If you haven't subscribed already, hit the button. Doesn't cost you anything. Helps me out. And you'll see some amazing videos. Occasionally I'll say something funny. But more importantly, you can learn a lot from my subscribers. Most of my subscribers are European, and they help me learn and help you learn about Europe. And I can't thank you guys enough. If you're subscribers, I cannot thank you enough. While we're thanking people, I'd like to thank Clovis, my first member of my channel. I have not pushed memberships. I don't really want to push memberships. A lot of YouTube channels do. But it does help if you decide you want to help the channel a little bit. It's like, anyway, if you want to, great. If you don't, that's fine. Clovis, I thank you. And yeah, that's it. Subscribe. It's enough. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. You'll learn a lot. I learn a lot. I learn every day from my subscribers, from people just passing by. All right, enough jibber jabber. Let's see what this video is about.
So what's new and exciting in Spain in 2025? We've got new high-speed rail routes, epic gastronomy festivals, fresh rural...
You guys are big on the gastronomy, which I guess is like gastrointestinal, so gastronomy. You guys are big on that. You talk about that a lot. I gotta be honest with you, that dish does not look appealing to me. I'll try it. Relax. And I'm down for some steak and lobster and shrimp, but you guys start getting into octopus and squid, and I don't know about all that. Of course, if you can basically fry anything and make it taste good. But yeah, you guys got the trains. We don't have the trains yet. We're working on it, I think. I think Florida's working on one. I think they're working on one from Las Vegas to Los Angeles. We need a bunch more. Too much red tape. Too much bureaucracy. Although that may change. Uh-oh, here come the politics. Type it down below. We got a new president. Anyway, I thank all of you guys. Tell me if you were missing something in this video. What's new in 2025 in Spain?
Escapes for those who want to get back to nature, and a city that is celebrating 1,200 years of history. Yep, this year Spain has it all.
But it's 2025, the year Spain declares war on Airbnb and rolls out tourist taxes. One thing is certain, new major entry requirements for tourists to Spain and Europe are coming, and you need to know about them.
Hey, I'm James.
And I'm Yoli, and if you're coming to Spain soon, grab a pen and paper and get ready to take notes. Can you guess which Spanish monument has just been rated the most loved by tourists and that you totally need to add to your 2025 itinerary? Is it the Alhambra, the Sagrada Familia perhaps? Nope. According to a recent study based on thousands
Palace of Madrid. That's what I'm going with. That's about the only one I can name.
Of online reviews, this title goes to the Mosque Cathedral of Cordoba, or the Mezquita Catedral de Córdoba. And I have to say, I agree 100%. The mosque was built in 785, and it was built on the site of a former Visigothic church.
785. We'll call it 800. So it's 1,200 years old. 1,250 years old. How? I can't go 20 feet without this. Here's my second one, just in case. I got a backup. See? How do you build a mosque or a cathedral or whatever by hand with nothing? With nothing. No power, no electricity, no power tools, no hydraulic tools, nothing. My office looks like a pipe bomb went off in here. And I gotta clean it, and I'm not motivated, and I'm tired. And I got furniture coming. And I gotta move things around and try not to look like a pipe bomb went off in here. You know it's gone too far when you're worried about what the delivery guys think. Oh well, let's watch some videos.
Church. It features these incredible red striped arches that just stretch endlessly in a magical maze. And an impressive 86.3% of the visitors rated it 5 out of 5, wow, making it the highest rated monument in Spain and in Europe. In the 16th century, after the Christian conquest, a cathedral was built inside. And even Emperor Charles V, who authorized the construction, famously regretted telling the architects, "You have built what you or others might have built anywhere, but you have destroyed something that was unique in the world." If you haven't visited, Córdoba is one of Andalusia's most stunning cities, often overlooked compared to Seville or Granada. In fact, it's under an hour from Seville by train, meaning you can even make it a day trip.
Spain's tourism numbers are soaring, with over 90 million visitors last year. And in fact, the country is on track to be the most visited tourist destination by 2040, with 110 million visitors per year. But as many of you know,
that's interesting because Spain was not even on my radar, honestly. My wife wants to go to England. My family history is Irish and Scottish. She's got German in her history. So, I mean, it was literally UK, Scotland, probably Wales, since it's there. Italy, of course, everybody wants to go to. France, maybe Germany. That's before I started this. When I started this channel, then I watch This is Germany by Dr. Ludwig, which is basically a whole bunch of drone video of Germany. That blew me away. Almost broke down. I couldn't believe it. I don't know. I had some kind of a spiritual awakening towards Germany. It was weird. It was weird. I mean, I'm a pretty big guy, and I was trying not to cry. It was weird. And then I stumble on Spain. Now, my parents have gone to Spain many times. As a matter of fact, they just got back from Spain and Portugal not too long ago. A month or two ago, actually. But it just didn't really, I was like, okay, Spain, it is what it is. It's another little country we'll check out. And then I started watching Spain videos, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's not even, I mean, first of all, I had no idea it was so big. I mean, obviously it's not as big as America, but compared to most countries in Europe, it's huge. I had no idea. I had no idea that you could have snow. You could go snow skiing one day and water skiing the next day. I mean, it really, I got a ton to learn, but I've learned a ton. And Spain is like, so now as I told my wife, I'm like, I'm more interested in Germany and Spain than I am the UK. You know, so we got to just see it all. We just have to see it all. It is what it is. And we're going to see it all. Even if we have to walk there, we're going to see it all. I guess we'd have to swim and then walk. You get the point.
Rising tourism has sparked a backlash. Last year, there were anti-tourism protests throughout the country, driven largely by rising housing costs. And now, local and national authorities here in Spain are starting to crack down. So cities like Madrid, Palma de Mallorca, and Malaga are severely restricting where vacation rentals can operate within the city limits. And remember, in 2029 is the year that Barcelona is going to be banning vacation rentals completely. But the problem remains that there are already so many illegal vacation rental apartments operating throughout the country. A recent study in Madrid suggested that 98% of the Airbnbs, etc., in Madrid don't have a license, even though many of those apartments are actually run by professional companies and not, families or mom and pops. So, what's to be done? The big news is that Spain is going to be launching a national online registry that it hopes will crack down on illegal tourist apartments. So, how's it going to work? Well, imagine you have an apartment that you want to list on Airbnb. Well, if you want to list it on Airbnb, you have to upload that apartment to this national online registry. Then you will be given from the registry a specific number. And then to list your apartment on Airbnb or booking.com, you need that number. And in short, no number, no listing for you.
Nothing for you.
Effectively, what this could mean is all these unlicensed apartments are going to be removed from the platforms like Airbnb.
Good. I'm a tourist. It's gonna cost me more money, and I'm okay with that. Because the last thing you want to do, I spend not a lot of time, but most of our vacations are in the Caribbean. And it's beautiful. The water's beautiful. The islands are beautiful. It's beautiful. But what you don't want to be in an environment where people don't want you there. You know? You don't want to feel like you've invaded somebody's country. At least I don't. Obviously other people don't give a crap, but I do. So I don't have a problem with any of that. And quite frankly, I don't know that I would ever rent an Airbnb. It scares the crap out of me. I'm always worried about hidden cameras and whatever. Which brings me back to cruise ships. I know. You guys hate them. But at least we're not sleeping in your town. At least we're not taking up your apartments. We're sleeping on a cruise ship. They should be regulated. They should be taxed. They should be, insured and have licenses. In my little town to do anything, even just to work out of your house. You could work on your house. You could work out of your house online. You could be a YouTuber. That could be your job. You never leave your house. And you still have to have a license. You still have to register. You still have to pay taxes. You still have to, if you have a company, you still have to pay annual filing fees, to keep everything organized and legit. You certainly should have to do that if you're renting out apartments to tourists. So good. Good. I hope it makes the people happier. And if it makes the people happier, then they're going to be more welcoming to tourists. Tourists should never live better than the people that they're visiting. That's my opinion. Now, obviously, if you're wealthy and you're a tourist, you're wealthy and you're a tourist. And yeah, you're going to have things that are nicer or whatever. But I'm just saying it shouldn't be at the detriment of those who are trying to live. It'd be like going to Jamaica and buying half the island, and then just forcing all the poverty into one little corner of the island while you take over the rest of the island. The same idea on a much different scale. Just my opinion as an average middle-aged American who cares about my Spaniard friends.
Airbnb, and new ones won't be uploaded, effectively totally restricting or limiting the amount that are available, kind of like what's happened in New York. And in fact, this isn't just a Spain initiative. This is actually a European initiative that's going to be rolled out throughout all of Europe.
Just between you and me, I wouldn't use New York as a model for anything. I mean, you can kind of see what's going on in New York and kind of figure things out on your own. Don't just copy New York on anything. Trust me. One of the few places in America I would not live. New York is out of control, just like California. But I get it. It's a population thing.
Europe, and it has to be in place in Europe by 2026. Plus, the government is also looking to increase the sales tax that you have to charge on your Airbnb or Booking.com apartment to effectively raise the price. And this is to disincentivize landlords from listing on Airbnb and similar platforms and push their apartments onto more long-term rental for families and people who live here. Will it work? We'll see.
But wait, there is more. Across the country, new tourist taxes are being introduced to manage the growing number of visitors and their impact. In 2025, Tenerife is planning to introduce an eco-tax for tourists visiting protected natural areas such as the Masca Ravine or Mount Teide. Locals can go for free, but visitors will pay 28 euros. The revenue...
I said all this. Go watch my other videos. I said this exact same thing. And I think it's the same way for if you're going to visit the cathedrals or the palaces or anything else. If you live there, it should be free or dramatically discounted. And if you don't live there, then it should cost you more. It's wear and tear. It's wear and tear. I said this before. Finally, the government of Spain is paying attention to my channel. It's about time.
From this tax will go toward conservation efforts. Other regions are planning to introduce new taxes, while those with existing measures like Catalonia or the Balearic Islands are planning increases. For example, Galicia is planning to introduce a new tax charging between 1 to 2.50 euros per night per visitor, up to 5 nights. Individual towns can choose whether they will adopt this tax or not, and so far only Santiago de Compostela.
Look at that. Look at that. Now, just between you and me, nobody who has the money to visit Spain is going to be affected by 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 euros a day. It just isn't going to affect anybody. So if you're doing it to collect money, and maybe that money can go to rent credits or something else to help the people, okay, that's great. That's fine. If you're doing it to deter people, it's not going to deter anybody. 2 or 3 euros a day, 5 euros a day, 10 euros a day isn't going to deter anybody. It is a collection of money, though, and that's great. You know, what you got to remember is the average income of Spain is much lower than Germany or America or Switzerland. So if you're not working in Spain, then there's a good chance the people visiting Spain, their dollar goes a lot further, or their currency goes a lot further. You know, I think America, we're at least double the income, maybe triple. Germany's probably double. So something that cost you 3 or 4 euros only cost an American 1 or 2, you know, in a ratio. So you get tax. I got no problem with tax. You know? It's just part of the deal. When you go on a cruise ship, you have to pay port taxes. You know, that could be $20, $30, $40 per port. And that's, you know, to pay for docking there and whatever, and I'm sure some kind of an impact fee. Tax away. This is a guy who thinks looking at that is worth something. And if I flew halfway across the world to look at that, I don't care if it costs me 10 euros or 12 euros or 14 euros or 18 euros. I'm going to pay it. And I'm not wealthy. But if I'm making a trip to another country, then I have to go with the flow. I have to understand there are costs involved. And my money goes further in Spain than just about anywhere. So it's hard to complain. It's pointless to complain. It's your country. I'm a visitor until I get my dual citizenship.
Stella has confirmed it will. Also, Toledo is considering a tourist tax of €1 to €1.50 per day, aimed specifically at visitors that arrive on a bus tour and that are not planning to stay overnight.
So I'm getting more into the great outdoors. In fact, I recently hiked from Madrid all the way to Segovia, following stages of the Camino de Santiago. So if getting into the great outdoors and hiking and all that kind of good stuff is your vibe, then you might be interested in hitting the Balearic Islands in 2025, because in Mallorca and Ibiza, there are new routes opening up. First of all, in Mallorca, the long-awaited East Mallorca Gran Recorrido del Levant will open. This is a route that goes 104 kilometers down the east coast of the island, from Cales de Mallorca to Cala Mesquida.
Is that mine or is that his? What is that blob? All right, I'm going to do a little rewind, make sure that's not me.
There are new routes opening up. First of all, in Mallorca, the long-awaited East Mallorca Gran Recorrido del Levant will open. This is a route that goes 104 kilometers down the east coast of the island, from Cales de Mallorca to Cala Mesquida, passing through various towns and gorgeous countryside. And for those nature lovers with a more intermediate level, in Ibiza, there are 7 new shorter trails opening called Pequeños Recorridos.
Listen, don't take this for granted. Look at your country. If you're from Spain and you're watching this video, look at your country. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Don't take this for granted. Go do something. Go tour a castle or a cathedral, a palace. Go to the beach. Go look at this stuff. I just can't tell you, and I know a lot of you don't take it for granted, but I know a lot of you do. A lot of you just walk by a palace on the way to work. I mean, we don't have it. We don't have it. We got all the money in the freaking world, but we don't have castles and cathedrals and palaces like you do. Don't take it for granted. I don't take it for granted. You know? If this was in Mexico, I'd be going next month. Because it's cheaper. You know? I could literally drive there. It's a lot different. So don't take it for granted. Please. Sometimes it takes, you know, a different set of eyes to really let someone understand what they have. Yeah, your apartments are smaller. Yeah, some of you don't have air conditioning. You know, there's all kinds of things that may not be perfect. You know, you're having a crisis with, you know, trying to find housing and that kind of thing. I get it. It sucks. But man, I mean, you could live in a car and appreciate the beauty of your country.
They range from 10 to 50 kilometers, and they're perfect if you just you're just starting out and you want to take a shorter walk, although 50 is a pretty good walk. Now, I did find it a little bit hard to find information about these routes, but if you are looking to do hiking in Spain, check out the app Wikiloc. It has user-generated routes all over the country. It operates in English as well, and it's fantastic if you want to find some places to go for some beautiful walks in this country. Meanwhile, the 4 regions of northern Spain, Cantabria, Basque Country, Galicia, and Asturias are collaborating on what they're calling the Green Spain Ecotourism Corridor, which is effectively going to be, according to them, Europe's largest ecotourism route. Now, what does that mean? Again, details are a little bit sketchy, but effectively they're going to be collaborating to create lots of outdoor activities, bird watching, hiking, all these different ways you can explore. They've said UNESCO biospheres. So it's a perfect reason, I think, this year, if you haven't been to Green Spain, to northern Spain, to go and explore it. We made a couple of videos there last year, which really, I think, showed the incredible beauty. And if people only know southern Spain, for example, or Madrid, Barcelona, this is a whole different vibe. So I reckon definitely check it out in 2025.
From over-tourism to ecotourism to package tourism, let's head to Benidorm. This city, loved by some, loathed by others, has just been named European Green Pioneer of Smart Tourism 2025, recognizing its commitment to sustainable and innovative practices in tourism. A representative of the Benidorm Tourism Board said that this award will shut a lot of people up. And she added, it highlights our intelligent resource management in areas like water and mobility, and it acknowledges that our tourism model and compact city design with vertical urban planning is the most sustainable, despite being criticized for the opposite for so long. So what exactly is Benidorm doing? Now, the city has implemented a smart water management system that has reduced consumption by 30%. Also, there are now solar panels that are powering public spaces, public buildings, and hotels, and they're planting native species to improve the air quality in the city. Plus, they have an app that gives real-time updates on weather, beach conditions, and events to prevent overcrowding in the city. So maybe 2025 is the year for you to go to Benidorm and discover this hidden gem of Spain.
But enough sun and sand. Let's talk about something more fun, like the new border control systems that you need to know about. Are you ready for me to hit you with some acronyms? They're called ETIAS, which maybe is ETIAS, and the other one is EES, which is maybe EASE. So the first one to come into effect is the EES, EASE, in 2025, mid-2025. And here's how it's going to work. If you were to fly into Europe or cross into Europe previously or currently at the time of recording, you get a stamp on your passport. But that's changing with EASE, which is effectively means entry-exit system, EES. I'll stop making the EASE joke, I promise. And so what will happen now is when you cross the border, effectively you'll scan your passport, have to give some biometric data like scan your fingerprint, a photo, and it's a way for European countries to better control people who are coming in and out of Europe and to make sure that you're not overstaying your 90-day limit. Heads up, this only applies when you're entering Europe in a sense for that trip. It doesn't apply when you're traveling between European countries. Then the ETIAS, I guess, system will be coming in 6 months after that. Now, what is this system? Effectively, this means that if you're flying into the Schengen zone, into sort of Europe, from a country like the US, Australia, New Zealand, a country where you don't need a visa to enter the Schengen area, then you need to do like a pre-approval online before you fly. It costs like €7, and you should get your approval within minutes, apparently. And then that will last for 3 years, and it means you can come and go during that 3-year period into the Schengen area.
But the bureaucratic requirements don't just stop at the airport. Last December, Spain implemented a new data collection policy for travelers staying in hotels, tourist apartments, and campsites.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But I understand it's the way of the world now. Everything's about data. Who would have thought 15 years ago that the most valuable thing on earth is personal data? It's disgusting. No, I don't have anything to hide, but it's none of your business what hotel I stay at or who all's visiting me or whatever. And this whole thing with not being able to pay in cash for anything, I don't know if you guys are doing that yet in Spain. I know they're doing it in some European countries. That's crazy. That's craziness. But you want to track every dollar. You know, the U.S. passed some laws that are pretty unacceptable too, where basically the government can look in your checking, into your bank accounts. It's getting a little out of control. And while we're on the subject, is it true? I haven't even researched it yet. But is it true that people are being arrested in the UK for Facebook posts? I saw a video, or not a video, but a clip that literally said that thousands of people have been arrested for Facebook posts, or social media posting, and that because they're overcrowded, they're letting files out of prison to put people in prison who have violated speech policies. Is that true? You guys know about that? That's crazy. If that's true, that's crazy. Let me know about Spain. What's Spain's deal on freedom of speech? Are you guys taking cash? Or have you eliminated cash? This whole government overreach thing, I'm okay with taxes. I'm okay with that. Tourist taxes, okay. Now, I'm not okay with you knowing what I had for breakfast.
Hotels are required to provide about 40 pieces of information or so for each customer, including personal details such as ID numbers, a full name, of course, and payment details. And if there are minors, then details about who the parents are. Spanish authorities have said that this policy is designed to enhance national security, prevent fraud, and combat organized crime. But hotels are not happy. They say that
all governments, no matter what country you're in, all governments claim that it's for the better of the country. It's for better security or better protection or better, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. That's been going on forever.
that these new rules are going to create an administrative burden in high season, and that pretty much is going to be chaos.
But real talk, I checked into a hotel in Mallorca a couple months ago and had to fill out one of these forms because the hotel had started implementing this practice, and I didn't have to provide 42 pieces of information or whatever the sensationalist newspapers are saying. The fact is, much of that information is actually information the hotel has to provide to the government about itself, like its address, its tax number, all that sort of stuff. So the concern for me isn't a massive collapse and all these papers all these forms you have to fill out. But I do understand that suddenly this information is not just going to the hotel, but it's going to the government. So there are valid privacy concerns, I would say.
Buenas, ¿qué tal? Hola.
But if it's food that you love traveling for, then here are a few gastronomic destinations to add to your bucket.
There it is again, gastronomic. You guys love your food, boy. I mean, I love food too. I'm a pretty basic guy though. I'm kind of a meat and potatoes guy. But you guys, gastronomic.
List for 2025. First up, the city of Alicante has been named Spanish Gastronomy Capital 2025. As I discovered when I shot a video there last year, the region of Alicante is much loved and often visited, particularly for its beaches, but often the city itself is overlooked. On my trip there, I ate one of the best rice dishes I've had in my life at Casa Domingo, right on the beach by Playa San Juan, and I also visited the central market, the Mercado Central, and had fantastic food at one of the bars there. To celebrate, the city is going to be hosting a slew of events, including the National Tortilla de Patatas Championship, the Spanish Omelette Championship. Yep, we have one of those. There's also going to be a cocktail week and tapas tours. And remember, if you go to Alicante and you order a rice dish, it may look like a paella, it may seem and maybe even taste like a paella, but it is not a paella. Paellas are from Valencia. In Alicante, they call their rice dishes arroces. Don't get that one wrong. Catalonia, on the other hand, has been crowned World Region of Gastronomy 2025. It means there's going to be food festivals, wine fairs, gastro routes, special menus the whole year. And actually a week after this video comes out will be the Calçotada, the Calçots Festival in Valls, which is amazing if you can get your act together and head over there in about 7 days' time. And perhaps if you already have been to Barcelona, you know Barcelona well, this is an excuse to get out of Barcelona and explore the rest of the region of Catalonia, which has multiple wine regions, so much incredible history, so much incredible food, and it's really a region I want to discover more. So maybe you'll beat me to it.
Okay, let's talk fast trains. Remember that Spain has the second largest high-speed train network in the world, only second to China. And a few years ago, Spain liberalized the network, making it possible for new operators to enter the high-speed market. This has reduced prices massively, making train travel more affordable than ever before in Spain. And the growth continues in 2025. The low-cost operator Wigo has just launched new routes connecting Madrid to Seville, Malaga, and Cordoba. The tickets start at €9, but you gotta be fast because those fly. Meanwhile, idiots.
I ain't gonna lie. I do wish we had trains like that. I really do. You know, I've talked about it before. I've done videos on trains, Spanish trains, Swiss trains, and I do wish we had them. I do. Our public transportation is not good. And I mean, I haven't been in anything, I haven't done anything related to public transportation in 40 years, probably. You know, in America, it's cars. And that has something to do with the size of the country. It has something to do with just, you know, the roads. Obviously, we don't have the infrastructure for trains to go everywhere, but we have roads to go everywhere. And that was, you know, that's been around for 100 years. It was probably started before there were even cars because it was used for logistics for military applications and etc. Anyway, so since I was 16 years old, I've had a car, at least one car. I've never not had a car in my entire life. I've never even bought a car without already owning a car. And right now, we have more cars than people in our household. With 2 trucks and 2 cars. So it's just the American way. And I wish it wasn't. I wish you could just get on a train and go to the mall, or get on a train and, you know, go to the beach or whatever. I see the advantages of it. As long as it stays clean and graffiti free and semi-crime free, and I see all the tons of advantages. Tons. I get it. I would never not have a car, at least in America, you know, and I would never live in a city where it was difficult to have a car. I'll never live in New York City or Chicago or Los Angeles or whatever. So yeah, that's something that Spain definitely has. You have castles, palaces, cathedrals, and trains. And you'll always be ahead of America in at least those areas. And gastronomy, which I'm perfectly fine with the food I eat. So, but yeah, enjoy your trains. Don't take them for granted.
Our personal favorite, has just launched a high-speed route connecting Barcelona and Malaga, running through Madrid. The service runs twice daily, and the journey takes about 5 hours and 15 minutes, which makes it a viable alternative to air travel. And let's not forget Renfe, Spain's national train service, which has just launched the Spain Rail Pass. This is perfect for tourists because it includes between 4 and 10 train trips within a 1-month period, depending on the pass you buy. So if you're exploring the country, this could be a cost-effective way to get around using fast trains.
And last but certainly not least, we head to Murcia, a region that's tucked away in the southeast of Spain and is still off many people's radars.
Isn't that a Lamborghini? Is there a Lamborghini Murcia? If not, I guess I'll edit this out.
including mine. Because confession, I've only been to Murcia, the region, once, and that was a few years back to go to the famous Las Minas Flamenco Festival that's held there. But maybe it's time that I go to Murcia, the city, because this year, 2025, the city of Murcia is celebrating its 1200-year birthday. That's a pretty big deal. And rather ingeniously, to celebrate the 1200 years, Murcia has organized an entire year, 12 months of celebrations. Each month celebrates a particular century in the city's history. So the city have said, and it sounds pretty cool, that they want to turn the entire city into a sort of living museum during the year. You know, they're going to have historical reenactments, they're going to have special exhibitions, and just general revelry. It sounds pretty cool, so maybe, guys, I'll see you in Murcia, the city, this year.
Well, there you go, guys. Some things that are new in 2025. And some things that are not new, but improved. And for the record, there is a Lamborghini Murcielago, of course, but the old one was the, I think it was the Murcia. M-I-U-R-A, Murcia. Haven't owned very many Lamborghinis, so I'm not that familiar with them. I'm more of a Ferrari guy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I don't have anything like that. BMW is the nicest thing I've owned. And I don't own it anymore because they're not as reliable as Japanese cars. Anyway, I want to thank all you guys and check out some of my other videos and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will see you on the next one. Take care. Thanks for checking out my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Can you believe that we now have over 1,000 subscribers and over 100 videos in our YouTube library? Me neither. It's been less than a year and this channel has grown so rapidly. What's more important than the number of subscribers is the quality of subscribers. Our subscribers are knowledgeable and generous with their time. They teach us about their country and their culture from their firsthand experiences. See, over 95% of my subscribers live outside of the United States. So we're getting information firsthand. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that button. I think you'll enjoy it and it doesn't cost you anything. If you'd like to see other videos similar to this one on the same country, click here. If you'd like to see some videos on some other countries in Europe, click there. Want to see some of the most beautiful castles and cathedrals in the world? They're over here. Want to check out the United States? We're down here. I appreciate you, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.